up, Plan Fam? It's your girl Lauren here, and welcome back to another video where we talk about all things planty. Now, for today's video, I am doing another repot with me, if you can't tell, and this will be a Q&A repot with me. Some of you guys gave me some really good questions to know more about me on my Instagram, and I decided to answer your guys' questions while I repot some of my favorite plants. So if you guys are ready, then like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get going. Quickly for a rundown, I am repotting my Philodendron White Wizard, my Monstera Peru, my Philodendron El Choco Red, and my Monstera Albo Borgisiana Variegata. So we're all about the aeroids today. I will let you know that one of the plants isn't doing so hot. I'll get to the story, but for right now, I think I'm gonna go with the easiest plant, and that is my Philodendron White Wizard. This plant, I've talked about it so many times, and you guys already know this is my favorite plant. Now, the substrate it's really interesting. It's very chunky, which is obviously very good, but it looks like it's mainly rock. Like, I think it's lava rock, I believe. And this wizard is always thirsty, and it is time to repot it. Now, I'm going to put it, I believe, in this 5.5-inch orchid pot, so let's get going. The first question, and I'm looking at my computer, which is right here off camera, is what is your ethnicity? And that's a pretty easy one to start off with. Hold on, this is noisy, guys. Wow, okay, so you can't see because I will spill this, but it is, I think it's just all lava rock. It's all lava rock. I forgot my gloves too. Guys, I swear, repot with me's are one of my most favorite plant videos to watch on YouTube. I think they're so relaxing. I love seeing other people's plants, and I love seeing plants get a new home. But to me, it's the hardest video to shoot because there's so many things going on. Anyway, when it comes to my ethnicity, I am 100% Filipino. My parents grew up in Manila, Philippines, which is the capital of our country, and they moved here in their mid to late 20s. Now, when I say that, my parents met in the United States. They did not meet in the Philippines and travel here together. Now, I have been to the Philippines a couple of times in my life. I've been there about 4 or 5 times. Basically, all of my extended family is there. Everyone on my mom's side of the family is still in Manila or in Quezon City. And some of my uncles from my dad's side live in the US, but for the most part, everyone is in the Philippines. I love visiting there and just being in touch with, you know, your culture and your roots. I do have a baby cousin. Well, she's not really a baby anymore. She's like 4, and everyone always says, all my titas and titos, that she is exactly like me when I was little. If you guys are familiar with Tagalog, which is the Filipino native language, there's this term called maarte, and it's kind of like you're so extra or diva or just a little je ne sais quoi about you. And that's definitely how I was as a child, and basically how I am still today, you know? I am kind of extra. Okay guys, this is it for my Philodendron White Wizard. I am going like easiest to hardest when it comes to the plants I need to repot, but this plant was very straightforward. Here's just a view of the plant. I'm happy that it's in its new home, and the next plant that we're gonna do is my Philodendron El Choco Red. The plant is still doing really well. I really do think that this plant may need a moss pole. I do have some right here if I need it, and I am going to put it in this glass pot. And I'm super excited about this find. I like how it is tall. Can you guys see that? Kind of, okay. I like how it is tall and it has a drainage hole, so win-win. And I think this will be the perfect pot for this plant. Now, I don't know how noisy this is gonna be. This is from NSC Tropicals. And the substrate has a lot of perlite. I can tell it's really root bound, super root bound. I'm a little terrified, guys. I'm kind of terrified. Some people were asking me how much I paid for this plant. And I will tell you that it is the most expensive plant in my collection. That's all I'm gonna say. So with that said, I need to make sure that this plant is as healthy and happy as possible. While I am doing this, this kind of segues into the next question that I got. The question is, what are the next dream plants that you are wanting to cross off on your wish list? This is a great question, and I had to think about it for a little bit because there's so many plants that I want that are on my wish list. Don't get me wrong, in the past couple of months, I have checked off a lot of the plants that I have wanted pretty at a fast rate, if I would say. I'm kind of cheating on this question because I have 2 plants that I am going to say, but here's the thing. One plant is a uncommon plant. It used to be really rare. People still say that this plant is rare, but I would say it's uncommon now. It's expensive, but you are able to find it at different tropical sellers, to eBay and everything. And that is a dark form Queen Anthurium and Anthurium warocqueanum. I still really want that dang plant, guys, and I want a pretty mature plant, I have to tell you. I want my queen to have been on the throne for a while. She know what she's doing, and she got it. That's basically what I want for my queen. Guys, if you can only see, you can see the mess I'm making, and I am making quite a mess for sure. But I don't think I will need a stake for this. I think I will just need to remove some of the soil. And since this is a tall pot, I think that is a good spot. Here, let me turn to the back so you guys can kind of see where I'm at right now. When it comes to a rare plant, and in my opinion, I would say this plant is rare because while it is expensive, it's definitely a lot harder to get. I've only been able to see just a couple of online sellers sell it, but I've mainly seen it on eBay, and the price, let me tell you guys, for this plant, it's freaking expensive. Holy cow. It always costs minimum $600. I saw one of them sell for, I think, $1,100, and that is a philodendron strawberry shake. I don't know if I have to explain myself on why I really want a philodendron strawberry shake, but I guess I'll just go into some of the reasons. A, philodendron, yes, of course, but I love the variegation. You never know how the leaf is going to turn out because it can be green, kind of a mint, to a really nice pink or burgundy. You never know. It's kind of like a mystery, and there's such an array of colors you get on that plant. I think it's beautiful, and I just really want one. I don't think I will get one for honestly a long time, or maybe a long time in my book, because I need to, take a hold of my spending because it's been pretty insane when it comes to plants. But also, it's just not right timing, and I know it. There's still other plants I'd rather get before I get my philodendron strawberry shake. Let me know, guys, what dream plants are on your wish list. It doesn't have to be rare aeroids or anything. There are still other plants that are common that are just as beautiful, and a plant I still want. Like, for instance, I still want a Hoya Crimson Princess, and that plant you can get just about everywhere. So it doesn't have to be crazy expensive or out there, but let me know in the comments. We are done, guys. Here is my Philodendron El Choco Red in this glass planter. I think this was such a good choice to pot this plant in this planter, and I'm just so happy. I love when you water clear pots. You can see the water go all the way through. I don't know if that's weird, but we are done, and now we are going to move on to my Monstera Albo. This plant, I am so excited, so unbelievably excited. Don't judge me. And it is, again, like I said, my Monstera Albo. I showed you guys this plant in my eBay collective plant mail, and when I got it, it was basically an unrooted cutting. It had one aerial root and maybe the tiniest baby roots, and I decided to let it grow in spag, and it has worked so tremendously well. This is the newest leaf right here. All the variegation is down like in this little diamond, which is pretty cool. And I already see a little bump all the way. Let me show you guys the roots of this plant. I don't know if it's gonna come off on camera, but she's big. She's here, and I can't wait to pot her. I do have a moss pole that I am going to put on her to stake her up so she can learn how to grow upward, and I am going to stick her in a 6-inch pot. Let's do another question while I do this, shall we? And it says, I loved hearing about your dance background with So Real in your last repot. Did you actually dance with them? And that is a very good question. If you missed my last repot, it was all about my journey on how I got into plants and YouTube, so definitely check it out. I will leave the link above. But in case you missed it, I started to fall in love with YouTube from watching dance videos, and the first dance crew that I watched was So Real Crew from Houston, Texas, and they were on the second season of America's Best Dance Crew, if anyone watched that. To answer this question, case in point, yes and no. If you're talking about that original So Real crew with those members. However, I did dance a part of their studio team. So a couple of years after So Real crew ended their show and tour from America's Best Dance Crew, they opened up their first studio in Houston, around the Chimney Rock area, if anyone is in Houston and knows of that area. At that time, I was a huge ballerina point girl, but it was a weird moment for me because I started falling out of love for ballet. I still appreciated it completely, but I was tired of just doing that form of dance. I did it for such a long time, and the solution to me was doing hip hop. It was something completely out of my realm, and I just wanted to dive deep into it. As a progress update, this is freaking difficult. The root system is so good, and I want to show you guys, but getting it off this spag is so difficult. I may go to the sink to try and have the water facilitate getting the spag off so I don't rip out a lot of roots. So let me figure this out and I will be right back with you guys.
2 hours later.
Note to self, I'm back, and that was extremely difficult. I got some really good roots, guys. Let me show you. I got super good roots. Obviously, I couldn't get all the spag out. Running it under hot water definitely helped a lot, but man, that was tough, and I don't know, guys. Just be mindful of that. I am going to water this plant with Super Thrive to help with the shock from going from spag to soil, but this is how we're looking right now, and a beautiful aerial root is right here. As I was saying, I really needed a change when it came to dance, and it happened to be perfect timing because So Real was opening up their own studio, and I thought this was fate. I told my parents that I wanted to try hip hop, and my parents literally thought I was freaking crazy because I was good at ballet. Granted, I knew I never was going to be a prima or anything or go to a school. I was just recreationally like really good. I think it was hard at first for my parents to hear that I wanted to completely start with a new dance genre when I was already good at ballet, but it took some convincing, but slowly but surely they got there. So I was on So Real's studio team. I started on their junior team, their like teenager team, which is called the Sandlot, and then I did a couple of seasons on their adult team, which is just called So Real. I had the best experience, guys, dancing with So Real. I learned so much. I got to compete in World of Dance Houston, World of Dance Dallas. I got to compete in Hip Hop Internationals in Las Vegas, which was super cool. I got so many opportunities that I'm so grateful to have been a part of from dancing at So Real. The Monstera is done. I will show you guys, but I am going to secure the plant with one big plant tape to make sure that it goes upward. Here is the plant, guys. It looks kind of funky, but here is the newest leaf. It looks absolutely beautiful. I will keep you updated on this plant. I am a little worried about it, if I'm not gonna lie, because of the spag and the damage, just trying to get it off. But again, I'm going to water it with Super Thrive to help with the shock and the transition. And now we are down to the final plant. This last plant, guys, it is a bit sad. It's a bit sad, and there is a story, but it is my Monstera Peru, and fair warning, it's a little rough. Here it is. Yes, the leaves are curled in, and it makes me sad, and I'm hoping when I repot it, it will just thrive. But basically what happened is I got this plant and I kept checking it with my moisture meter, and it was still moist. So there was quite some time where I didn't water this plant. Then it just looked really sad and curled in. I have been giving it water, but I think this plant just really needs a bigger pot, a greater home. I'm going to take some cuttings off of it to propagate, and hopefully it'll be better. So this is the plant right here, and it is in a 4-inch pot. The last question isn't super crazy by any means, but it is, what did I study in college? To answer that question, I studied business. I studied marketing at the University of Houston, and I loved going to U of H. I will say it wasn't my first choice when it came to university, but I honestly feel like college is literally what you make of it. The last 2 years of college, I was in a sales program, so I have a BBA in marketing with a minor in sales and management. The sales program I really took off in, and it was honestly really scary for me to do sales at first, guys, because you really have to put yourself out there and be okay with rejection and being persistent and resilient, but I think it added to my character so much. I will show you guys what's going on, but this plant is freaking difficult first. I'm trying just to get the plant in the pot and stabilize it before I take cuttings and prop it up. Here is my Monstera Peru, guys. I know it looks crazy, but now it's time to tape it up to really give it the atmosphere in the home that it needs, and also take some cuttings. This plant may have some personality and be circled around this pole, but let me get some of my great tape in here. I am almost done with this plant, guys. I will show you once it's all complete, but all my attention and focus is geared towards this plant right now. Okay guys, I am done with my Monstera Peru. Please keep in mind, it definitely needs some TLC, I know, and I am crossing my fingers that this plant will be okay. I did take 2 cuttings right here that I am going to try and save and get some healthy roots off of these guys, but this is, you know, I'm going to use the word whimsical. This is my whimsical Monstera Peru. Yeah, that is it for today's video, guys. I know things got messy, unruly, everything in between, but that's the fun of plants, just messing around with them, having fun with them, and giving it the new homes that they need. I really hope you enjoyed this Q&A. I promise I'll get better at repots, but I hope you enjoyed this Q&A, learning a little more about me, but I will close off this video, let you guys have the rest of your day back, and I will see you in the next video.